Hi, I'm here to spend a little time talking about two of my favorite subjects, guitars and wood. And first off, we need to kind of talk about the makeup of a guitar. And here I have a picture of a typical acoustic guitar um, that basically has a body and a soundboard that basically creates the sound without need for amplification. And basically, some of the parts on the guitar include the neck, and that's connected to the body. And then there's the soundboard, and then there's the bridge, where the strings are connected to the soundboard. And then there's the fretboard where the strings are impinged on the neck in such a way that they can make the various notes that are played. And each particular part of the guitar will use a particular type of wood species um, to create that special sound that we so much like. Now, typical wood types, I could probably spend an hour talking about different types of wood, but for the most part, we can break it down into a few species, important species that go into making the guitar. For the body, typically it would be mahogany or ash or maple. For the neck, similarly, would be mahogany, ash, or maple. And for the fretboard and the bridge where the strings interact, would be rosewood or ebony or maple. And then the soundboard, which is real important for acoustic guitar, is typically spruce and especially Sitka spruce, and it's radial cut and is very important to the sound of the guitar. When we move on to electric guitars, there's similar features, but again, there's no need for the guitar to actually make its own sounds because it has a pickups, so the sound is electrically made. This particular figure shows a little bit more detail on some of the things that go in terms of the headstock that goes into the neck. The machine heads or tuning knobs. The nut which is where the strings go. It's a place to put the strings onto the guitar. Then you have the fretboard and the frets, as I mentioned earlier. And in some cases, there'll be inlays into the fretboard to kind of give an aesthetic appeal to the guitar. And then for electric guitars, typically you'll have strap buttons because usually people are playing standing up with electric guitars. And then there'll be the pick guard to protect that beautiful wood finish from people scratching that with a pick. Usually the pickups, there's selectors for the different types of picks, and then you have your volume and tone knobs, and then a place to input the electric cable that'll hook up to the amp. Lastly, I'd like to talk about a few famous electric guitars over the past 70 years, including the Fender Stratocaster, which was developed by Leo Fender back in the 1950s. And that's probably one of the more popular guitars of all times. Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton. Then you have the Gibson Les Paul, which was also developed in the 50s by the Gibson Company, based on designed by the famous guitar player Les Paul, also a very, very famous guitar over the past 60, 70 years. Then there's the Fender Telecaster, which is real famous in country music because of the kind of the twangy sound. And then lastly, there is the Rickenbacker, 325, which was an important guitar for the Beatles back in the mid 60s, about the time they did the Revolver album. Tom Petty also used that guitar. So that's my short little overview of guitars, and I hope you enjoyed that.